Hello there everybody and welcome to my F1 2021 My Team Career Mode. We are now at Russia for the Russian Grand Prix. If you haven't seen the last one, I urge you to go back and check that one out before you check this one out. This is your last chance to do so before spoilers. You have been warned. Okay, so after what was the craziest race I think I've ever been part of, and a result I really don't feel like I deserved in getting on the podium last time, with Markelov winning the race. Yes, I know, right? Markelov winning the race. We now come here to Russia, and I'm trying to get out of the first part of qualifying, and I'm just going to say now, I don't appreciate the Haas getting in my way there. But he jumped out of the way quite quickly after, and our time wasn't really that badly affected. Right, into Q2 then, and as you can see, we have set the fastest time. So we're definitely meaning business here, and now we get into the final part of qualifying, and we have got some serious pace around here, so I'm really feeling like after a lot of wins have been bottled, I feel like, well, a lot of wins, I say a lot of wins, more like a handful of wins have been bottled. I feel like here we've got the best chance to get redemption and really show what we're made of. Although hitting that curve doesn't really help me at all, as we drift wide off of the track limits there. But I think because I'm backed out of it, we just about get away with it. But I don't really want to be doing that too many times. Going a little bit wide there. Verstappen setting the fastest time in this session, but actually we're really making that up, and it's not looking like too shabby a lap as we head up to the end of sector 2. What are we doing? Is it purple? Well, it's not quite purple, but I'm feeling pretty confident with this lap as we come to finish it off. We've got the left right hander to go here, and then we've got the double right. So let's see if we can make any time up there. And you know what? That was beautiful. Clipping all apexes just the way we needed to. Clip that apex, let it run out wide. Missed the other apex entirely. But that does not put us on pole. So we're going again. And we've set a purple first sector this time round. Personal best second sector. So again, we need to nail these corners. It was the last corner that really let me down last time because I went so wide there, and I just, well, the apex was there, but I was nowhere near it. So let's hope for a better run this time round. Clip that first apex beautifully, clip the second one beautifully, and that, I think, is the pole position lap, and it is pole position for the Russian Grand Prix.
Valtteri Bottas. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and Welcome one and all to today's Grand Prix here in southern Russia. A beautiful location besides the Black Sea, and a race that has historically been dominated by the Silver Arrows. Mercedes have won here 6 times since the first race in 2014. Can someone else muscle in on that record here today? It's full throttle for around 56% of the lap here at the Sochi Autodrome, a 3.6-mile run around the site of the 2014 Winter Olympics. 12 right turns and 6 left turns give us a total count of 18, with passing opportunities available into turns 1 and 13. Also here, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Joker. That was a great podium in the last race, so can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
It's always nice to come into a Grand Prix weekend on a high, but your expectations are based much more on your practice and qualifying runs, so it's the momentum from those sessions that they'll be hoping to carry into the race today.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Joker lines up on pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Norris, Verstappen, Charles Leclerc and Massa, Stroll, Vettel, Gasly and Carlos Sainz. They've taken a grid penalty. Perez, Bottas, Yuki Tsunoda and Giovinazzi. Markelov, Russell, Nicholas Latifi and Nikita Mazepin, Mick Schumacher Ocon, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Joe, and Daniel Ricciardo fills the last spot on the grid.
Right then, on the grid for the Russian Grand Prix, we are starting from pole. Can we finally get our second win of the season? It's lights out and away we go here at Sochi, and we've really bogged down at the start. We've lost the place to Hamilton, we've lost the place to Verstappen. Norris is up the inside as well. We're going to lose a place to Norris, and round the outside is coming Leclerc, so Leclerc's got up into fourth. Disaster of a start then. We have lost 4 places off that start alone, and we are down into P5. Leclerc and Norris are side by side for P3, but that's settled in Norris's favour. Leclerc having to back out of that one. He's not got quite as much momentum now. Can we take advantage of that? We're definitely having a look. Leclerc's going defensive. We're not able to really have a look down the outside, and in fact we've gone quite wide there, and that's allowing Massa a look. And I'm going to yield to that one rather than risk colliding with my teammate and knocking him back further. So Felipe Massa now up into P5. We are down to P6 on lap 1. We have lost 5 positions, but I'm hoping we can make those back up as I get into Massa's slipstream. And I'm thinking the best bet here, first of all, is see what Massa can do against Leclerc. Because if he can't get through in the next couple of laps, that's when I'm going to attack him a little bit harder. Right now, I just want to hang back and see what/if Massa can do about Leclerc in front. Because if it gets to a stage, like I said, if it gets a couple of laps down the line and he's still not through, that's when I'm going to force the issue. Because I know I can go quicker than both Massa and Leclerc in front of me. We've got DRS here. DRS is open now. Does Massa do anything? No. So Massa's still stuck behind Leclerc, and I'm stuck behind the pair of them. So it's now getting to the stage where I'm starting to think about taking matters into my own hand. You know, I've let Massa have a go for a couple of laps, but he's not really making the advancement I'm hoping for. We've had a few laps now, and seemingly we can't get close in the crucial zone. But this is going to be where I take the dive up the inside of Massa now. And we've got that position back off of Felipe after a very late braking move. I'm amazed that we made the corner. Because I'll be honest, it did not look like we were making that corner at all. Right, up next are the McLaren of Norris and the Ferrari of Leclerc. And hopefully they should be easier to pass, although we're currently in that famous DRS train where it's very difficult to overtake anybody within it because we've all got DRS, and it's headed, of course, by Lando Norris. And Leclerc's not really making any inroads on Norris. He's sort of sticking in the DRS zone, but he's not overtaking. Right, we're much closer to Leclerc now than we have been all race, and we got a little bit wide there. When we get the DRS open, we get overtake on. This should be an easy dive up the inside. If we could just get the run, which we do, down the inside we go, and that is P4. So this comeback is now on. We are up into 4th place. Next up is Lando Norris in 3rd, and then it is the 2 leaders of Hamilton and Verstappen, and hopefully we can get past them, and maybe, just maybe, this second win of the season could be on. That's the target. I know I've got the pace for it. First up, though, is dispatching Lando Norris, which we do here. Norris making it very difficult to pass there, and actually half turning in on me, then going wide. That's allowed Massa through with us. So you know what, I'm happy with that one, helping out my teammate a little bit there, but I don't think Lando Norris will be best pleased with that. Now look at the run Felipe Massa's got on me. And I'm thinking, you know what, if he is quicker than me at this stage, let him go. Let's see what pace he can run in retrospective to the 2 in front, because we were matching Hamilton and Verstappen for a while, for a lap or 2 there. So what I want to see is, can Massa do more and catch them? Because if he can, over to you, Felipe. At the end of the day, it's my team. Team being the operative word. I mean, either a victory for Massa or myself, I would consider a win here. However, I'd really like the win myself, and Massa then, he's closing on him little by little, but it's not an awful lot at this stage. So at the moment we enter a quite static stage of the race. And in fact, that's when I decide, you know what, let's make a pit stop. Let's try and get a little undercut if we can on those in front of us.
We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving.
Right, out of the pits we come. And we are quite far down the field, but that's because nobody else has made a pit stop yet. We've got a little bit of traffic to navigate. We've got Daniel Ricciardo first of all in the McLaren, who's tucked up behind Mick Schumacher, but we're going to go round the outside here, see if we can outbrake not one but both of them, which is exactly what we do there with that overtake. I'm really proud of that one. Right, next up is George Russell in the Williams. Can we use him for a bit of DRS? Oh, I think we can. George doesn't make it easy to get past, but we use the space we have, and that is George Russell passed. Teammate is in the pits then, so Felipe Massa deciding lap 11 was the lap to pit. So are we going to be able to undercut him, or is he going to be back in front of us? Right, Hamilton and Verstappen are also in. Have we got an undercut? Yes, we have. We've overtaken Max Verstappen. So now we've got to try and get past Lewis Hamilton for the effective lead of the race. I know it says we're in P9, but the guys in front of us have yet to pit. So them holding Lewis up could really bring him into contention here. Sorry, bring us into contention here. And that could really put us in the fight for first. But we need to catch and pass while he's getting his tyres up to temperature. And we have ours nicely up to temperature. Lewis going around the outside there of what I think is Italian Jesus. We're going to stick it down the inside and get past him as quickly as possible. Max Verstappen is now being held up by him. So that's worked out for us. That gives us a little bit of breathing space between ourselves and Verstappen. Right, overtake, DRS. What can we do about Lewis Hamilton right in front of us? We have a long straight to do it in. He's being held up a little bit by the Alfa Romeo, but we dive up the inside. We've got the move done, and it's Artem Markelov directly ahead of us, the winner of the Italian Grand Prix last time out. And I really don't need you holding me up right here and now, so we're going to try and look on the inside. But Markelov's gone to the inside to pit, so we've had to brake just to avoid contact there. And that has put Lewis right up my rear. Not what I need with a DRS point coming up, but he wasn't able to have a look there. But he might be able to have a look on this straight here. He's getting ever closer, 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 but not quite close enough. We are able to hold on to the lead for another lap. And we've got half a race to try and hang on to this lead. But part of me is also thinking, if we are fighting these two, can we back them a little bit into Felipe Massa and maybe get a better team result? Right, Hamilton up, having a look up the inside there, but I've got him covered. He's now going to look to the outside. No way through there. We get a little bit sideways out of the corner, but Hamilton not able to quite get through this time. Right, lap 16. We're still leading the race. Gone a little bit wide there, though. Missing the apex a little bit. That's going to give Lewis Hamilton a bit of a run. And, well, that's very wide round there. And Lewis now alongside. We're going to keep the inside line. Lewis trying to turn in. Nothing there as we take a bit of circuit that's not really the circuit. But now we're on the back straight. And Massa has caught up to this little battle. I'm struggling for pace at this stage of the race. Lewis now having a look to the inside. Nope, covering him off. Lewis going for the outside, then the inside to the right-hander. Giving him space, but Lewis elects not to use it as we brake later. And the front four cars, you could throw a blanket over all of us. Leclerc in P5, not really near us as Lewis gets up the inside. He's got past, but are we going to brake later up the inside here? Yes, we are. We managed to get back ahead of Lewis. And now Verstappen and Hamilton are battling it out. And you know what? That is exactly the cue I need to try and disappear up the road a little bit and get out of that DRS zone. And in fact, they are still fighting it out now. Going round turn 3. Hamilton versus Verstappen side by side. Going into the next corner, still side by side. Max tries to put Lewis off the circuit a little bit. Lewis staying alongside. They're still side by side. Massa trying to find a way to get past one of these guys because they are racing hard. And Hamilton forcing Max wide. And Massa just right up the back there. But unseen by us, Hamilton managed to get the place back. And Felipe Massa managed to move up into P3. But while they were sorting themselves out, we had an opportunity to disappear up the road, and that is exactly what we've done, as we are now on the last lap. Those three just battered out lap after lap, and that is what enabled us to just drive away that little bit to secure what will be our second win of the season, our second win of this My Team career mode. And after heartbreak in Spa and Austria, as well as other races, we have taken the win at the Russian Grand Prix. Finally, a second win.
Awesome, just amazing. Well done.
So after a day of mixed fortunes up and down the field, we bring today's race to a close. So Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
Welcome then to the podium, our top three drivers. What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race.
Mistakes were made at a handful of races this year that cost us the win. But here, that was a solid drive that took us to the victory. I was a little bit scared at the start when we dropped to 6th, but the pace was always there, and we were matching the front guys all through that race. And the key thing there for me was the strategy, was making that pit stop a lap earlier, getting that undercut, and then while Lewis was being held up by the traffic, just pouncing on him and diving through, and then they all started battling each other, and that's what enabled us to get a couple of seconds up the road and take that win. So I am absolutely overjoyed with that one. For me, that's one of my best drives of the season, and I'm really happy to take that win. And as you can see, it's a 1-3 as well for the team, because Felipe Massa gets his first podium in his comeback to Formula 1. So it is a 1-3 for the team. Our best combined result. I am so happy with that. And of course, that puts me ever closer to Valtteri Bottas for that P2 in the title. Game on. I am now after that P2. And we move up to second in the Constructors due to that big injection of points as well. That will do literally no harm at all. And even though catching Mercedes at this point, I think it's not going to happen. I think we're fighting for second in the drivers and the constructors. That is the aim. Well, I'm going to leave you with the highlights reel from this race. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, hit the subscribe button if you're new. Join me again the next time I release content. Stay safe, look after yourselves. TTFN guys, ta-ta for now.